Hi, welcome to the Native Wildman channel. Your host Sean Catfish Wilson today, and today's video is Knife EDC Wednesday, plus I'm going to do a review on a knife that I've had for a long time. So, what I have in my right pocket is a Civivi Imperium Markita scales, Damascus steel, and so far she seems to be riding pretty good. Deep carry pocket clip. Hold on 1 second. Alright, I'll be back. Okay. This is lighter compared to the Civivi. And then in my fifth pocket, my watch pocket knife today is this Rough Rider Black Cherry Bone. It's got dual, it has one of the blades lock, and it has really nice walk and talk on it. Really nice walk and talk. And again, size comparison to the lighter. Lighter size compared to my hand. Okay, knife, my left pocket, I have this CRKT Cruiser. It doesn't say anywhere on it what steel it is, so I don't know how old it is, so it might be either Oz 8 or 8CR, depending on when it was made. And then this knife, compared to the lighter, it's actually one of my bigger pocket knives. It's not really the most comfortable in pocket. Then my fixed blade. This little case 4-inch hunting knife, stacked leather. This is a stainless steel. Okay, this is a K-bar. I said case, didn't I? K-bar. My little K-bar hunting knife. This is the size of it compared to a lighter. And hey, look, more knives. And if you're ever running through Manhattan, Kansas, and you like tea, Ellen's Planted Teas, Berry Oolong. And the color of the tea is pretty close to the color of the logo there. And pretty close to that. Okay, that's a little hot. And see, SMKW, and here's the Smoky Mountains. See, aren't the Smoky Mountains pretty? You like my Smoky Mountains? Okay, now the review. Knife. This knife I've had for a long time. It is Oz 8, and well, didn't hit the edge enough to ruin it. It's Oz 8. Comparison in size. to move to Smoky Mountains. Yeah, it's real similar in size to the Counterpoint 1. Okay, this is the size of the Counterpoint 1 compared to a lighter. This is what it looks like in my hand. It's got thumb stud opening. Fairly slim for its size, but it's still a hefty knife. But really, it's super comfortable in the hand. Got this, you can choke up a little there. Does have a sharpening choil. Edge is a little off, but that's okay. I can fix that if I want. I don't know if I should or if it's up to me, whatever. I don't know, maybe if I did line up the tip it might improve a little, but I'd have to take an awful lot of steel. But it would probably make the tip a little bit sharper than what it is. But you see that road down there? Well, I was in that there silver truck in the back and dropped it on the tip first on the asphalt pavement. So yeah. As far as edge retention, it is Oz 8, but for Oz 8 it does have a pretty good edge retention. I take it down to 1,000 grit around, so whatever my Smith Finestone is, it says 1,000 to 1,200. This thing rides in the pocket amazingly well, especially for the size. It is ambidextrous, so left-handed people out there, you lefties, you can switch your pocket clip over. And as far as durability, I've used this knife to baton with, carve wood, fillet fish, make cut bait. I've feather sticked a little bit with it. I don't feather stick too often, but I do every once in a while. Ooh, I almost cut myself. I've used it to open up cans, because at one point in time I didn't have a can opener, so this was my can opener. As you see, it's fairly thick, and then with this here, this is going to give your knife a lot of strength. I've used it as a pry bar to open up valve box lids at work. It'll work on a lot of them. Sometimes they're just too stuck and you have to use something bigger like pliers or a big long screwdriver. It probably is more of a self-defense style blade. Sharpening it, I like the way Oz 8 feels sharpening. Oh, he flew away. I wanted to show you guys this little house finch I seen. Aw. And these holes are excellent. You stick a wire down in there and you close the blade somewhat, and then you twist it around like a pair of tubing cutters and put gentle pressure on it. This works better if you use a solid core wire. Other than that, I would definitely suggest to get wire strippers, but this will strip stranded wire, but it's sharp enough also that it'll cut through some of the strands, which I guess wire cutters do too, but less likely. Get a better cut with wire cutters, or wire strippers, I mean. I can cut through stranded copper wire with this. My solenoids that I use at work, they have stranded copper wire that's about like what you would have in an electrical cord, probably. It's not as thick as electrical cord, but it's about the same type of stranded wires that you would find in an electrical cord. And this knife cuts through it no problem. And I can squeeze and squeeze. See the pocket clip kind of nestles in the little bowls of my hand and a little crack just right, or crevice. One problem I do have with this, and it's not major, and Loctite would probably fix it, is this pivot screw tends to loosen up over time, but that's easy. My tool at work that I use to adjust heads can actually fit in there. But and the triad lock that Coldsteel uses, I have never had the lock fail on this knife. Or this knife, I've never had the lock fail on it either. This one has a real good lock. Yes, I know it's not really a lock. This does have stainless steel liners on the inside, and Coldsteel does a pretty good job at hiding it so you don't see it unless you look at it just right. See it through the holes too, but I would definitely recommend this knife. When I got it for around $60, but that was way back around 2006-ish. So yeah, I've had this knife since about 2006. And so this, for the size of it, comfortable. Wearing it, holding it around, comfortability wise, I don't notice it in my pocket. I do prefer deep carry pocket clips, but this thing, it's got enough springiness to it, and it's a pretty quality pocket clip, decent quality. Well, I've had a lot worse. I've had ones that I've had to take the knife apart and bend it and then rebend it, and they just kind of loosen up. And this thing, I've never really had to do anything to it. Basically, the only thing I've had to do to this knife is sharpen it, take it apart every once in a while, which I need to do again. Take it apart every once in a while, clean it. I've used it as a throwing knife. It does stick pretty good if you can hit the target right, which I'm definitely not very good at hitting a target. Well, I can hit the target, but I can't get it to like stick in like that. I always end up going like that almost every time, no matter how far away I am. And also I just walk up to him and doink, 9,999. Doink. Does anybody get that reference I just made? If you do, please put in the comments what that reference is. Too. But normally I think they use a butcher knife and not a little pocket knife. But slowly walk to. Okay, that's my turn. Doink, you're dead. Doink, you're dead. Really annoying part in that game when if you weren't strong enough to take the out in time. I don't know how much it weighs, but it's a pretty light knife. Definitely lighter than this knife. Which is when I need to add a sharpening choil to. This was a gift from a friend. And it is. And they used one of those things to sharpen it, where you go. Well, that actually sounded like it probably hit the right angle on that thing. I could sharpen the knife with that. That's actually smoky quartz. That's what's the Smoky Mountains today. So, yeah. So if you're into a spear point style blade and you want something that will last, have longevity, I'd like to say I'd definitely recommend the Counterpoint one. It is now made in AUS 10 instead of AUS 8. But however, as everybody knows, that Coldsteel's been bought out. They're not Coldsteel anymore. I mean, they are, but they're not. Different owners, so. But I hope that doesn't affect the quality that Coldsteel's known for and the durability and, you know, everything that Coldsteel's known for in one of their knives. They do make two other sizes of this. They do make a mini, I think it's called a Counterpoint 3, and then they make a Counterpoint 2, which is an extra large one. I want to eventually get them both. But I don't like the way they did the handle scales on the new ones. You can pull it up, and then anybody that's good with technology can take my video and do a side-by-side with a new one versus this one. But these handle scales, they've taken very little damage. But you do see a few Mars on them because it's a tool. My knives are tools. I buy them to use. I don't buy them just to sit around and look pretty unless it's a Case Astronaut M1, and I've used that one a little bit too. But not enough to see if it's like a real good knife. It seems decent, but I don't want to ruin that knife, so I won't use it a whole lot. And like this is definitely a working knife. It cuts sod. I've cut sod with it. Sod will dull knives down really quick. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys know what sod is, but I'll just do a quick explanation. Sod is basically a carpet of grass. They take and cut grass about yay thin, so you got short grass and then like dirt or soil holding it together, roots and stuff, and then you clean up, like remove all the real big rocks and stuff from the soil that you want to put the sod on. Rake it out, make sure it's tilled pretty good. Make sure that the sod's nice and close together. I've seen some really bad jobs done by some people, so. And then I've seen really good jobs. If it's a good sod job, you're going to barely tell that it's been sodded. If it's a bad saw job, you're going to have gaps and it's just going to look bad. But anyways, so yeah, let's cut sod with this. I've actually cut down trees with it too, like suckers and stuff that's, I don't know, about 1.5 inches in diameter. About that big around is the biggest I've cut. Because you... Whooshink, whooshink, doink, whooshink, whooshink. As you see, it's not going to fly out of my hand. And this is real nice too. Definitely gives you perfect grip. See, you can... I've cut food with this too. In my kitchen, I've used it to prep food. I've used it for food prep too. It works really good. And the action for being a lockback is pretty good. It's pretty smooth. I can't flip it out. It's not like flipping smooth. Unless I do a wrist flick. And another thing, do not just I'm holding my phone with one hand, but word of advice, if you're not very good with knives, if you're new to knives, don't try and open or shut a knife like this. It can be very... I've cut myself doing that a couple times. If you know how to sharpen knives good, it falls on your finger, you're gonna cut yourself. So you've got to be extremely careful. I love you, Cosmo. Especially after I clean it, then this thing will drop really good. But as you see, this thumb stud, no problem opening up the knife. Their placement on it's really good. And you got that little bit of gap there. I wish they would have designed it a little bit different so that gap's not there, but it's not really, it doesn't affect the knife that much. And then that gap there, they could have done a few things different, but I think if they would have redesigned it, it would have not turned out as well. And then some people don't like that. Some people don't care. See, most of the knives don't have that, but really, it's never been an issue for me, so. But if you're kind of picky on aesthetics and stuff, it might be an issue. Oh, and another tip on mine. I don't know if they're all this way, but when you go to close it, if you try and push here, it's not going to work. You have to get all the way back at the very edge right there to get it shut every time 100%. And the reason is one of the mechanism in here is a little short for the filling. There might be a way that I could improve that or fix it, but or just learn how to deal with it like I did. So yeah, if you have any other questions about this knife, feel free to ask. Oh, it has a lanyard hole. I've never used the lanyard hole. I don't like lanyards really on my knives, but if you like lanyards, here you go. You got a lanyard hole. Of course, if you buy a new one, it won't come up with all these marks. But if I'm watching a knife channel and they're reviewing a knife, I expect to see that it looks used, not like this that's looking brand new. Well, it's because it is brand new. But so if you like spear points, definitely get the counterpoint one. It's served me well, and it's gonna serve me well for a lot longer. Is that Finch back yet? No. Peace and long life, my friends.